Hey guys, what's up? It's the Culture Detective here, investigating your favorite places and countries and more, and today I'm gonna be talking about Alaska, USA, as you've seen in the title. So yeah, you may have seen my videos about me traveling in different places in Asia, including Philippines. I've made a couple of videos about that. Me traveling in Europe, I've made like so many videos about that. Mainly Western Europe. I've never been to Eastern Europe. I really want to go there. I also haven't made any videos talking about my experience in Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore. I'm gonna make those very soon. And I've also talked about going to New Zealand a little bit. But never have I ever talked about going to USA. In fact, unpopular opinion, but I actually really like going there. You know, as a tourist at least. I know that the USA is going through a pretty rough situation right now, and there are more people in the world who hates USA right now more than ever. But still, I have to admit, it's a pretty damn special country. It's really powerful, first of all. Second of all, the American culture is very different from many cultures around the world, especially cultures in Asia, because not only is USA more free, it is also more whack. So I've been to the USA twice in my life. The first time I've been there, I was 6. I was 6. So I literally have so less memory about going to USA for the first time. But for the second time, I was 13. Yeah, I was 13. It was the year 2016 by the time I went there for the second time, and that was my second favorite vacation in my life. Number one being summer of last year, where I went to like 9 countries in Europe. That one was insane. But so was the second time I've been to USA. So Alaska is the biggest state of the USA, not Texas. I'm right? And it is the northernmost state as well. Alright, one sec. Yeah, not Texas, even though I've been to Texas. Yeah, it's Alaska. Duh, just look at the map. Yeah, anyway, I've been to Washington, Alaska, Texas, and California, meaning that I've only been to Los Angeles, and also I've only been to Houston and Sugar Land. Anyway, so, yes, my first state, the first state that I've ever been to is Washington, and the second is Alaska, and that's actually pretty impressive. That's out of all the states, that is the second state I've been to, and the only 2 states that I've been to in my first trip to USA is Washington and Alaska. So, yeah, let's talk about that. So, you know, I'm talking about things that happened 10 years ago, a decade ago, so I barely remember anything from that trip. The only reason why I remember some of those things is because of the photos being taken and the things that I've written around 5 years ago. Yes, so I've been to USA for the first time when I was 5 in 2009, when I was 6 in 2009, and I think when I was around 11 or 12, I suddenly decided to write down all the things I remember about the first trip to USA. So in the year 2014, I think, no, 2013, around the year 2013, or maybe 2014, I forgot, I actually wrote down all the things I remember. And then 5 years later, or 6, I don't know, I'm making this video right now, so yes, these memories have gone through history. So yeah, anyway, I'm gonna read what I wrote 5 years ago about what happened 10 years ago. So it was the 25th of July when we boarded the Diamond Princess cruise in USA. We have been staying in Seattle for like 2 weeks by that time already. No, actually 1 week. We stayed at Seattle for 1 week before we went to Alaska. And we didn't just go to one specific place, we were on a cruise ship to go around Alaska, and it's the Diamond Princess cruise, and it's fucking awesome. Man, that cruise is insane. Anyway, I'm gonna give you a little backstory here. You know, my grandma, my second aunt, and her husband actually live in Seattle, Washington, so we go there to visit family relatives. Anyway, we decided to go north, go to Alaska, and I actually don't know why. I don't know why my parents and I guess grandma decided to bring us to Alaska. I don't know. I didn't take part in any of the itinerary planning because I was 6. Anyway, July 25th, Diamond Princess cruise, Golden Princess, Diamond Princess. I actually forgot, but something like that. I woke up 5 a.m. that morning and I was really, really tired, and I slept in the car on my way going to the port. Wow, this mirror. Okay. I slept, and man, I have zero memory. Okay, anyway, I boarded the Diamond Princess cruise, and it's mind-blowing. First of all, the cruise has 17 floors, and it's gigantic. This boat is like a shopping mall, but 10 times the scale, and with many bedrooms, and damn, yeah, our room in the cruise was actually really comfy as well. And there are multiple restaurants on that cruise as well. There's a cinema. There are like 2 swimming pools. There are 2 swimming pools in the cruise. There is a deck where you can relax and watch the view. There's a casino. There's a cinema. There are so many different shops in there. It's actually insane. The cruise is actually insane. And they give off free chocolate, like free chocolate and chocolate chip cookies. And they also give you these plastic cups that are like, you know, that sort of pretends to be like a glass cup, but it's actually made of plastic. And man, I don't know why, but whenever I think about my experience in Alaska, it's always awesome. It's always amazing because this cruise is just an impressive construction. You know, it's just, yeah, I just love this place, man. I just love this place. You can live in this cruise for like a year, and you will never run out of things to do. I think, or a month. I don't know. That's an exaggeration. That's a hyperbole. But anyway, I don't know why, but I remember the first thing that I remember when I go up to the cruise is going to the 14th floor to have a buffet. Whether I forgot if it's breakfast or is it lunch, but I remember very specifically to eat baked potatoes and also dessert. And also on that day at night, it was one of our family relatives' birthdays. I'm not gonna spoil who because it's a spoiler. But that person had a chocolate cake, and it was tasty. I think. Did I taste it? I forgot. I don't think so. But yeah. Anyway, there are 2 restaurants. One on 14th floor, one on 4th floor or 3rd. I forgot. But the one on 14th floor is very casual. It's buffet, and the one on 4th is very formal. You know, like expensive dining, high dining. Anyway, it was July 26th, the ninth day in USA, ouch, and I went to Juneau, Alaska, the capital of the state, Juneau, Alaska. The things I remember are salmon, a lot of salmon, fish, people fishing, people catching salmon. I remember walking in the streets, and I remember going to a museum. The bedroom, not the bedroom, well, more like the room in the cruise that I was in was really comfy, cozy, and we had these bunk beds, and I was in the lower one, and in the morning I would climb up and I would see my dad, and yeah, free hot chocolate and free cookies, actually pretty fantastic. And oh boy. And then we arrived at Juneau, Alaska, which is at the time already the northernmost point I've ever traveled to. I've never been to anywhere more north than that. Yeah, so I went to a museum apparently, and it has a lot of statues. And I also remember a fake grizzly bear, like a stuffed grizzly bear, a taxidermy. And yeah, it was summer, but yet I wore 5 layers of clothing because Alaska, it's pretty cold. Alaska's pretty cold. Also, Juneau isn't really like a city, more like a big town, and you know, I come from Hong Kong, so this place is like the suburbs of Hong Kong, except the roads are wider, and the houses are wooden and have, you know, these kind of rooftops, you know, rooftops that are like triangular. Yeah. If you're American, you're probably thinking, wait, isn't that like a normal thing, like rooftops being like this? Yeah, anyway, you know, yeah, lots of cool streets. And yeah, what's actually kind of amazing is that it's right beside a mountain and the sea, and you, it's like it's like a street leading up to a mountain that's leading up to the sky, and it's like this really jarring and weird, almost overly natural thing, you know what I'm saying? It's like when two pieces of location come together and you've never seen something like that before. It just looks weird, but also look incredibly amazing. The views there are amazing, and I love the weather there. It's so cool. It's so cold. It's summer and yet so cold, and the air was so fresh. It was actually refreshing. Duh. The town there almost has like an old western vibe there, but at the same time it's also kind of like Northern American, if you know what I'm trying to say. Yeah, anyway, where was I? Yeah, I had salmon, I drank water, I shopped in the middle of the cruise, and I also went to some streets. Oh yeah, apparently there are statues, there's a bus station, and there are some really beautiful wooden houses in Juneau. That's kind of cool. I mean, again, I can't describe it to you, the feeling. Like, when every place you go has a different vibe. It just gives off a different vibe, a different mood, a different taste. Every location has a different attitude. So I cannot really describe it with words because it's just this, it's a feeling thing, you know? And you know, I'm just gonna show you some photos if I have some, but the roads are wide and everything feels so empty, but also very peaceful, but not really, you know, the calm kind of peaceful. Yeah, anyway, June 27th, stayed in the cruise because we are traveling up north to Skagway as our second station. Anyway, we shopped in the cruise. We went to a casino, cinema. Apparently, there's a school inside the cruise. Apparently, I don't know, man. There's like a little education center thing. That's crazy, actually. What? And the cruise is like a mall, and in that mall part, there are performers. Okay, there are performers playing, like dancing around and contorting. And for lunch, I had a big piece of steak and salad and fruit juice and bread, and that was actually dinner on the 3rd floor. Yeah. I'm reading off of my book, my little book that I wrote 5 years ago. Anyway, July 28th is the 11th day in USA, and I have finally arrived at Skagway, and that is the northernmost point I've ever traveled to in the world until I had been to Helsinki. Yeah, until I had been to Helsinki. But Skagway is still really up north, really cold up there. We sort of went up a mountain trail, and there were these upside down trees, like trees being chopped in half and then put upside down, so it's like the leaves are in the middle. And this is one of the tourist attractions there. We were on a tourist bus. We were going up a mountain trail, I think, and we got to look at some cool views, some really nice rocky stone stuffs, lots of mountains. I kind of want to see snow, or more like I kind of want to touch snow, but I never got to touch snow when I was at Alaska. Actually, I'm currently 16 and a half years old. I've never touched snow in real life, and also seen snow. I don't think I have seen snow in real life. So, seeing snow is one of my goals in life. Yeah, anyway, it's awesome. Lots of stones. And Ice Canyon. It's lots of ice. Yeah. Also, some houses, some shops, and also some nice wide streets similar to Juneau. And I remember being in a cafe with my family, and we were just there hanging out. And then the cafe is like this small, obscure cafe. And then there's this weird little, it's like a garden gnome, but it's so small. It's about this size. And it's a fat woman. It looks like a fat woman. And then we started laughing at this piece of artifact. And yeah. Also, back at the cruise, I went swimming, and while swimming, I watched Mamma Mia, the musical movie. Yeah. That's actually crazy. What? They have a cinema and a swimming pool together. Oh, I remember the swimming pools. They were like really large, and there are different sections. There are different like areas, and you can go to another swimming pool. Like there are multiple swimming pools in the cruise. And there's also a deck layer on top of the very cruise. And in the very morning, one day I just went up there and watched the view. It was very, very cold, but at the same time, it didn't feel cold for some reason. Yeah, anyway, as the cruise moved along, especially during lunch or dinner, we always look outside the window. It's always these icy, snowy mountains. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've seen snow before, I think. Or maybe it wasn't snowing. Maybe it was just mountains. I forgot. But yeah, anyway, it's crazy to see all these glaciers and these mountains. Anyway, July 29th, Ketchikan. 3rd station, Ketchikan. Oh yeah, before that, we wanted to go to Tracy Arm, which is one of the fjords in Alaska, and that was before Ketchikan and after Skagway, I think. And the cruise was about to go to Tracy Arm, but then it got stuck because there were just too much ice, so it sort of backed off and went to Ketchikan directly, I think. And the most memorable thing about Ketchikan are totems. I've seen Little Einstein when I was young, and totems give off a very scary impression for me. At least when I was young, totems are this mysterious, weird thing. Like, they're stacking animals together, and it feels like a religious thing, and it's just weird. It's weird for me. It's mysterious. Totems are mysterious. And I finally saw one totem in real life, like a totem in the middle of a street. Oh, and I remember accidentally stepping on some poop. Like horse poop. Horse shit. Yeah, anyway. Yeah, totems. Totally cool. Anyway, July 30th, we stayed in the cruise again. And I don't know why, but it says that we went to Tracy Arm on July 30th instead of 28th or 29th, which is wrong chronologically and geochronologically. If you put them together, it's wrong. Yeah. But on the cruise, again, awesome. Never ran out of things to do on the cruise. I had gelato, popcorn, and we actually went to Victoria, Canada. And that day was the first day that I've ever been to Canada. And oh yeah, gelato in Canada. I've tasted gelato in Canada. I saw a big red tree, the tree with red bark, and also a building completely covered in vines. Fuck you, yeah, fuck you. Alright. Anyway, on that night, I think, I watched the first few minutes of Slumdog Millionaire in the cinema, in the cruise, so that's pretty rad. And then on the next day, it was July 31st. And it was the last day on the cruise, thus the last day in my Alaska trip. And yeah, we played giant chess on top of the deck, on top of the cruise, on the deck layer. And we also had an amazing dinner, like an epic dinner, like a large dinner on third floor. And we have to wear really formal, fancy clothes. Formal clothes, and it has to be yeah, it's a very formal dinner, but a really tasty one. We have a piece of steak, fried chicken, burgers, bread, of course, salad, soup, and then as for the desserts, there we actually have 4 desserts. We also have ice cream, fondue, pudding, creme brulee, and a chocolate cake, and then finally a super cake, which is this humongous cake that's basically like a dome. I was about to say half sphere, a dome, and there are so many layers to the dome. It's like a giant layer of cream on top, on the surface, and then it has cake, marshmallow, more cream, ice cream. It just has so many layers, and it's a very memorable ending to the Alaska trip. And then after that, we stayed in Seattle for another week, and then I returned to Hong Kong. So yeah, that's basically the Alaska trip. I will talk about Seattle in another video that will also be released in May, hopefully. And I will also talk about Los Angeles and Houston, Texas very soon, and also Malaysia, Singapore, Thailand, and hopefully Guangdong, Guangxi, and then that's it. Thanks for watching.